I grew up in the city called Chelyabinsk, and the city has actually a quite sad reputation for being the most polluted city in the world. Of course, it impacted me greatly as an adult, understanding the impact of living in such environment and what it does to all of us. We can all talk about environment and the scientists, but what's missing in those talks is emotional connection.
Wir haben hier gerade einen Ausschnitt von der Musik von Lera Auerbach gesehen und gehört. Sie ist eine Pianistin und eine Komponistin von absoluter Weltklasse. Und ihre Stücke werden in den allerprominentesten Konzerthäusern dieser Welt gespielt. Ich weiß nicht, ob du schon mal versucht hast, einen Song zu schreiben oder vielleicht eine Oper. Lera Auerbach hat ihre allererste Oper bereits mit 12 Jahren geschrieben. Und sie ist ein absolutes Multitalent, denn sie wurde nicht nur mehrfach ausgezeichnet mit den größten Preisen dieser Welt für ihre Musik, sondern auch für ihre Literatur. Und wir werden sie jetzt noch ein bisschen besser kennenlernen im Interview mit Johannes. Einen ganz fetten Applaus für Lera Auerbach.
So Lera, such a privilege to have you with us here.
My pleasure.
You've been traveling from Italy, I think.
Yes, that's right.
What were you doing in Italy?
I was playing a concert, a piano recital.
Okay, what were you playing?
Schumann, Mussorgsky, and some of my own music.
Oh, lovely. So in the video you said you started composing when you were 4 years old.
That's right.
What makes a 4-year-old compose anything? I mean, how?
Easy. I wanted to tell stories, and I wanted to tell stories through sounds.
Okay. So why tell stories? What is the use of a story?
Stories is everything. It's how we humans communicate.
So what story do you tell through your music?
That's for the listener to decide.
Okay. So then let's listen to something, yeah?
Yes.
We just heard an excerpt from your symphony called Arctica.
Yes.
And we're going to have a short video about that, and then we're going to ask you about it. Okay. When was that written?
2019.
2019, so it's one of your recent works?
Yes, pre-pandemic, yes.
Okay, pre-pandemic. Where was it first played?
That was at the Kennedy Center.
Okay, at the Kennedy Center. Okay, so let's listen to it, and then I ask you some questions about Arctica. So, did you travel to Arctica yourself?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay. So what made you compose this work?
Well, this is actually example how an organization such as National Geographic, which has never done anything like this before, never commissioned classical music.
The magazine.
Well, yes, but the whole organization, magazine is just part of it, how they were able to think out of the box. And by collaborating with a composer, create a platform for dialogue about Arctic, and also through emotional connection. Music has very strong emotional impact. We can talk intellectually about Arctic, but it may not reach our heart. And of course, when there is music, it can really make us fall in love with Arctic and feel the importance of it.
So, do you believe music actually can change something, like really make the world a better place, or is it just wishful thinking?
I will tell you actually one of the Arctic legends that inspired me and the symphony that answers this question and actually connects beautifully to Eden culture. And the legend goes as following. So there is a shaman, the heart of Arctic people. And shaman is a poet and singer, and he is able to travel through time and communicate with the different spirits. He makes this difficult journey to meet Great Sedna. And Great Sedna is the mother of oceans. She is the giver of life and destroyer of life. And the shaman begs her to save humanity. And he realizes that Sedna doesn't like humans and is not going to help.
Oh.
He threatens her, pulls her hair, no effect. He flirts with her, nothing helps. He tries everything, nothing helps. And when he realizes everything is lost, he starts singing.
Wow.
And that moves Sedna. And the last line of the legend says, at the times of great despair, only art prevails, and even that just sometimes.
Wow, it's beautiful. So, you yourself were born in Chelyabinsk. How did this city affect your way of perceiving the world and the role of art? It might be not an easy topic.
Well, I can say it was paradoxical in a way, childhood, because on one hand, I was surrounded by the world of books and music, the world of my parents.
Okay.
On the other hand, since childhood, I knew there was something very wrong. And it was not something we could talk openly about, which was radiation.
So you were born in Soviet times?
Yes.
So in Chelyabinsk is the most polluted city in the world. So some people only think about Chernobyl, but actually Chelyabinsk has a higher radiation.
That's
and
right.
I don't know if it's still the most polluted city in the world, but it used to be, definitely.
It's pretty bad.
Okay. So you come from a polluted city and you want to bring, you want to be part of healing, bringing healing to cities and places, or is that too optimistic?
I think there is beautiful mythology in Judaism that says that human journey, tikkun olam, is a process of repairing the world through doing good deeds. We repair the breakage, and so in some way we are all part of this equation.
Tikkun olam, so die Wiederherstellung der Welt, so reparieren der Welt. That's a beautiful thought. So coming to Judaism, you were asked to compose something for a very, very special place. Tell us about that, and then we're going to listen to Vessels of Light.
Yes, this connects to my most recent symphonic work. It's very fresh. It's this year. It's my 6th symphony, Vessels of Light. It was commissioned by Yad Vashem. This is the Holocaust Remembrance Center in Israel. And of course, this is also an example of thinking out of the box, where the organization that is not a performance art organization commissions a composer to write a monumental work dealing with Holocaust, but also commemorating the courageous acts of those who risked everything to help save people, such as Japanese diplomat Sugihara, who saved more than 6,000 people. So it has both messages also of hope and courage, as well as memorial.
And those people are the vessels of light?
I think we all can be vessels of light. And it is what we choose to do. It's through our actions.
So let's listen to Vessels of Light, written for Yad Vashem. What language is that?
The symphony is written in Yiddish, and actually it is the very first major symphonic work ever written in Yiddish.
Wow. So you are a composer. You also write literature. What is your literature on?
Life.
So only the small topics is it that you choose?
And death.
And death. So you're a piano player, you write music and you write literature. I was so shocked to find out that you even do sculpture. That makes me ask, is there anything you don't do?
I don't cook.
You don't cook. So how do you feed yourself? Like, do you have to eat?
Sometimes.
Okay, so you have other people who cook for you?
Ideally.
So you paint also?
Yes.
Oh, I knew that. So you dance?
No.
No. Okay. I'm glad to find it. So you showed me one of your sculpturous works, and I was really moved by that because it seemed to me to be something like what you try to do through your music as well. Could you explain this work to us?
Well, this particular sculpture is connected to the sculptures that deal with the radiation and environment, and of course it's also ambiguous because there is the human hand. It's a quite old person, and this mysterious animal is very young baby. So it's a connection with the past, with future, connection human with nature. But what exactly is the hand doing? Is it squeezing? Is it helping? Is it protecting? Is the creature asking for help? Is the human? So it's ambiguous relationship.
So, if I may ask, Are you the animal or the hand?
I'm the observer who affects the observation.
Ah, that's very rational. But from an emotional perspective, it's like, or are we both? Or what is humanity? Is humanity the hand, or are we the endangered species?
That remains to be seen, I think.
Ah, that's good. So where can we see this?
Yeah, so this whole series is of sculptures. It's of course connected to me being born in the very polluted city and being very concerned about environment and future.
So maybe you are the animal, a little bit. I don't know.
Perhaps.
So coming to your last piece that we're going to listen to now, it's an opera. Tell us about the opera Gogol. What is it about? So maybe just for those who don't know, who was Gogol?
Nikolai Gogol was a Ukrainian writer of the 19th century. He was also a father of Russian literature. He influenced Kafka a lot. So in fact, the whole 20th century literature comes from Gogol's overcoat. He was very this mysterious person and so much ahead of his times. I think only now, really, he sounds like a contemporary writer. So I was fascinated by him, by his personality. So the opera is a fantasy on his life, but it's based on also real facts. But it has character like death, like vulgarity is a character because Gogol was terrified by vulgarity. It has Bes, who is like a smaller demon who torments him. He was a very religious person. So it has different passions, his different passions, fears, and sometimes from different stories that he wrote come on stage.
So the scene we're going to look at now, can you explain just the context of it, what happens there?
I think it's combination from different scenes, but in the middle of it you will see him burning his manuscript, and actually because of dead souls, and it's true, he burned the two next volumes of Dead Souls, his greatest novel. And in opera, actually, because it's dramatic genre, he is not burning the manuscript, he's burning himself because it equals like burning himself, so...
Okay, let's watch it.
Yeah.
So, for this opera, you wrote the libretto and the music as well.
Yes.
What came first, the words
Libretto.
or the music? Libretto
Of
first.
course.
This is always like that.
Yes.
It's not like you have a musical idea first.
You need to have the spine first.
Okay.
Libretto is the spine.
So tell me about your creative process. Like, what do you need? What surrounding do you need to be creative?
I need to feel connected to the energy of the work that needs to be born.
So how do you get into that connection? You have to read about it or travel to the place? Or?
It's actually, it's probably for another talk, but I have this technique of tuning myself to...
Like an instrument?
Like a radio. You tune
okay.
yourself to a certain frequency in which this work lives.
Interesting.
And then, of course, you have to function in real life, so you can't just walk in that frequency. So, so the trick is to be able to come back there, to find a way to tune yourself quickly. So, yes.
So on a practical day-to-day basis, like you have your composing room where you do that, or okay?
I think we all play different roles in life. So you can be executive of the company and a mother to a 3-year-old, and it's very two different roles. And I don't know which one is more difficult, but and it requires a different dial switch, mental. Because if you talk as executive to your 3-year-old, it's just not going to work. And so this is something like this. You have to switch your kind of mental brain waves, regardless of what's happening around you. So some writers say they need, a glass of warm milk. So Wagner could only have silk underwear. You need to have your favorite pen or a certain candle. So that's all very, very nice, but my life is too chaotic with all the travel. So I try, the only thing I have to have is my dog. So my dog travels with me.
So what's his or her name?
Phoenix.
Her or
he?
You
Short from Phoenix.
You have him with him, but not here on stage, huh?
No.
Is he in the hotel room?
Yes, he's incognito. I'm not sure he's allowed there. So.
That's beautiful. So I loved what you said about tikkun olam, helping to fix the world. I think you were mentioning that you were writing or already have written a symphony on Paradise Lost. Is that true?
Yes.
Because when I first wrote your email, you said, "Oh, it's Eden. It's about Eden culture. I'm just writing about the lost paradise."
Yes, that's the 5th symphony. Yes.
So is it through yet? Is it done yet?
Yes.
So when did it come out?
Pretty much at the same time with the 6th one.
Okay. So you
So
released
also
2 symphonies at once.
This season, yes. This season.
Yeah, just writing 2 symphonies. So, Paradise Lost. How does your Paradise Lost end? Is there a paradise regained, or a hope for a restoration, or a tikkun olam, or does it just end like in Chelyabinsk? No, sorry.
Hopefully not so. Well, the way it's structured, there are 2 main movements, which is Eve's lament and Adam's lament.
Eve and Adam, they lament. Okay?
Lament. So those are the 2 main movements, and then there is prologue and epilogue, which frame them. Yes.
Wow, beautiful. So I'm so glad that when I wrote you about Eden and Eden culture, that you agreed to come tonight.
My pleasure.
That's very special. So Lera, this was not planned before, but when we walked on the stage before, we realized that we do have a piano here. So, wait, because we were writing back and forth. And we got news known Lera is not going to perform live. We're going to have the videos only. And I said, all right, I totally accept that. But then we saw that piano and she said, oh, I could play something. And das kann ich kurz auf Deutsch sagen. Dann hat sie gesagt, okay, ich könnte das spielen. Und dann unsere Stage Manager, die sind ganz nervös geworden, weil das ist eigentlich Worst Case. Das Klavier sollte heute gar nicht auf der Bühne sein. Aber wenn wir eine wirklich der Welt-Top-Pianisten hier bei uns haben, dann wäre es geradezu ein Verbrechen, sie nicht spielen zu lassen. So, Lera, what are you going to play for us?
I will play a short etude by Sergei Rachmaninoff.
So.